Hey, puzzle friends. It's Anastasia here. Welcome to a new segment that we're calling You Ask, We Solve, where you send in your puzzle predicaments or places where you're stuck or don't even know how to get started, and I can help you find a way forward. So, today's question comes from Tina, who wanted to know on boards that don't have small regions and there's not an available hint, how do you know where to get started? And so here's an example of a board. This was Tuesday's board, May 13th. And we often, on our earlier days of the week boards, we have regions of 3 or 4 spots where it's like really quite obvious where to get started and where to place the star. In this board, that's not actually the case. And so in this board, I still try to look for small regions often. In this board, that's what I'm going to do as well. But often, even within that small region, I can't place a star. And what I'm trying to do is identify places maybe outside the region where I can cancel out star options. So I'm going to look down in this region, and I see this tall L shape of 5 stars. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to see, there's no place where I can necessarily know that a star has to go, but I can also think about this region as a series of other regions. And so one thing I know is, what I could do is I could actually imagine that this region was made up of this set of 2 and this set of 3. And I can do that because a set of 2 cells like this can always only ever contain 1 star, because I obviously can't put stars here and here. So within a set of 2 stars, I know that a row of 2 cells only ever can have 1 star. A row of 3 cells could have 2, we know from other games. But let's also look at this corner of 3 cells. In a corner of 3 cells, I can also only ever have 1 star, because if there was a star here, there couldn't be a star here or here. If there was a star here, there couldn't be one here or here. And the same thing is true here. If there was a star here, there couldn't be one either here, either of these spots. And so I know that anytime I see a corner of 3 cells, that only ever lets me place 1 star in that cell. In this set of 2, I'm only ever allowed to place 1 star. And between that 2 and that 3, that gives us the exact constraints that we need to be able to place 2 stars in this entire region. So 1 star is going to have to go in either this cell or this cell. And another star is going to have to go in one of these 3 cells. And you're thinking, okay, but we still haven't placed anything yet. All right, so now is where it gets interesting. If we know a star has to go in 1, 2, or 3, A, B, or C of these cells, no matter which cell we place that star in, we realize that this cell touches all 3 of those. So if a star is here, here, or here, we wouldn't be able to place a star here. And so that allows us to actually make a move on our board. Our first move, we can X out this interior corner of that trio of 3. That helps because it makes this region a little smaller. The other thing is, I knew that there has to be a star in either here or here, 1 or 2, A or B. And if there was 1, we couldn't have stars in any of these 3. If it was in 2, we couldn't have stars in any of these 3. And what's interesting is that actually these two cells can't have a star no matter which cell I choose, here or here. This one and this one are both going to be canceled out. And so that gives me a lot of information. Again, I haven't placed a star yet, but suddenly what I've done is I've turned this region that was a bit unwieldy. Now it's a region of 4 where, if you remember other shapes, a zigzag shape can never contain a star in these 2 cells because they would touch all the other cells. So suddenly this board is unlocked and you can start placing stars and going from here. Don't be surprised if sometimes you may not be able to place a star in your first 5, 10, even 20 turns. Some more complex boards, you spend most of the gameplay placing X's, not stars. But eventually you can unlock an in and start placing stars. Hope this is helpful. Tina, enjoy, and everyone else, feel free to send in your questions.